In a valley where mountains hummed and streams giggled, lived a boy named Kale. Kale was lanky, with eyes like polished pebbles and a habit of listening to the world's murmurs. He loved echoes, how they bounced in caves, carrying voices of the past. He'd shout into ravines, delighted by replies. The villagers called him Echo Caller, for he could hear whispers others missed. One misty morning, as Kale explored a gorge, a tiny stone, smooth and silver, rolled to his feet. It pulsed with a faint glow, warm as a sigh. Kale picked it up, and it vibrated. "Hello?" he whispered. A voice, clear as a bell, answered. "I'm a shard from the Keeper of Echoes. She needs you. Follow me." Kale's heart raced. The Keeper of Echoes was a legend, a guardian who preserved the world's forgotten voices. He pocketed the stone, grabbed a sling with an apple and his patched scarf, and told his aunt he'd be back by night, though he wasn't sure. The stone hummed, guiding him to the silent spires, towering rocks where no sound lingered. The spires loomed, their silence heavy. The stone glowed, leading Kale through twists of stone. Doubts crept in, too quiet, too small, but the stone pulsed brighter, urging him on. At a hidden cleft, he found a chamber where echoes swirled like fireflies. There stood a figure in a robe of shadows, her hands catching sounds from the air. "Are you the Keeper of Echoes?" Kale asked, voice trembling. "I am," she said, her tone a soft reverberation. "You hold my shard. Few hear it, fewer follow. My echoes are fading, Kale, and memories vanish. Will you help?" Kale nodded, though he felt small. The Keeper showed him a basin of liquid starlight, where echoes floated as glowing orbs. Each held a voice, laughter, songs, promises, but some were dim, their memories slipping. "Every echo carries a memory," she said. "When they fade, the world forgets." Kale's task was to revive the orbs. The Keeper taught him to listen to their whispers. He touched one, which sang of a grandmother's lullaby. Kale echoed it, his voice wobbly but warm, and the orb flared, the memory sharp. Another orb held a sailor's call to shore. Kale mimicked its strength, and it glowed. Some orbs were faint, their memories heavy. One quivered, tied to a child's cry for a lost toy. Kale's chest tightened, but he echoed its longing gently, and the orb shone. The Keeper nodded. "You hear their souls, Kale." He tended orbs for voices of festivals, farewells, and dreams, each memory blooming brighter. But one orb, dark and cold, resisted. It groaned with an echo of fear, a shout from someone trapped in doubt. Kale hesitated. "It's too heavy," he said. The Keeper knelt. "Fear echoes loudest, but it holds truth. Find its hope." Kale listened. Beneath the groan, he heard a spark, a plea for courage. He echoed a steady call, soft but sure, and the orb blazed, warm as dawn. The basin shimmered, its echoes restored. The Keeper smiled. "You've saved the world's memories." She gave Kale the silver stone, now humming softly. "Keep this. It'll speak when you falter." Kale returned home, the stone in his scarf. The valley felt alive, echoes ringing clear. His aunt embraced him, asking where he'd been. "Catching voices," he grinned. That night, he listened to the mountains, their echoes rich with stories he'd saved. As Kale grew, he never stopped hearing echoes. When lost, he held the stone, its hum recalling the Keeper's words. He shared the voices with the valley's children, who marveled at their depth. "Every echo has a memory," he'd say, "and every memory needs a listener." One misty dawn, the Keeper, now frail, returned. "My time ends," she said. "Will you guard my echoes?" Kale nodded, heart full. She left the basin, small enough to carry. As the new Keeper of Echoes, Kale preserved voices, teaching others to listen. The stone, always near, sang softly, proof that even a small listener can hold the world's memories. And so, the valley rang with voices, carried far for those who paused to hear. Kale, once a curious boy, became a legend, his name whispered by mountains and streams. The silver stone glowed gently, a reminder that every echo, no matter how faint, can resonate forever.